chicken stock, not chicken broth, although they're used interchangeably, and the reason we say chicken stock is because stock is more based on the bone. Broth is more based on the meat. And what we're going for is all the nutrition of chicken stock and chicken soup. So the key with chicken stock is this, right here. This is the gelatin, and this is very hard to make. It's not hard to make, it was hard for me to make. And so the reason I'm doing this video is to help you avoid the 20 steps I had to take before I got to here. Now I'm going to show you 3 different stocks. This one is also gelatin. This is made with chicken feet and a whole chicken. This is made with just chicken feet, and you can see it's a little different. And then this one is made with just the whole chicken. And this is what I've been doing for a long time until I got here. There's nothing wrong with this, and this is the great thing about chicken stock that I like, is you can't lose. You cannot make a mistake. There's nothing wrong with this. This just offers more nutrition. I'm going to show you 2 different ways to do this. You can modify this. This is all yours, and again, there's no mistake with chicken broth. If you have chicken and some water, you're good. But I'm drawing on a recipe, and it's modified from this book, Nourishing Traditions, because she does an excellent job of explaining the benefit of stock, fish stock, beef stock. We just primarily do chicken stock. So you're going to take a chicken, and again, I do recommend, and I search long and hard for good chicken that is organic and free of antibiotics, free of hormones. That all plays a role, because what this bird has been through is going to affect your body. So if I were going to do organic, I would go first for meat before I went to fruits and vegetables. It's that important to your health. So you take the chicken, put it in as is, and again, you could do this with leftovers. If you had a chicken one night, you just wanted to use the bones, that's fine. I tend to put in everything. You don't have to do that. It's certainly not going to affect the flavor. It's just going to add nourishment. If you're not comfortable with that, don't add it. And then you're going to add your water. And I'll let Caitlin do that. So you just want to add enough water to go about an inch above the chicken. Over here, this can be intimidating. This is how I buy the chicken feet. I order it from a place called Black Wing, because I like them. I've had good customer service, and this is how it comes. So on the day that it comes, I divide up the feet, and you can either add this in after you've blanched it to that, or you can make a whole soup or a whole stock of just the feet. And remember, I showed you, that yields a great gelatin. So what we're doing is just feet here, and then I'll probably add some feet into that one. So if you take about 3 to 4 pounds of feet, you'll have a good stock. And so you just, again, you fill it with water to about an inch above. With the soup, now we're doing this in 2 phases. So we're going to focus on the whole chicken stock. It's about 16 cups approximately. I do this by eye, about. And you're going to put 4 tablespoons of raw apple cider vinegar. You could use raw coconut vinegar. You could use lemon juice. But it's basically to add an acid to the water. The benefit of the vinegar is that it's helping the minerals disperse into the stock, into the water. It's helping those 2 connect. The other thing that will help do that is if you use cold water. This was not cold water, but the colder the better. And to let this sit for 30 minutes. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to let this sit for a half hour and let it all just kind of come out and work together. So that means that we're going to concentrate on the feet. We don't have to wait a half an hour, and the reason is we're going to blanch the feet. This is the part that is a little intimidating, but I rest assured, I, who has absolutely no skill in the kitchen, can do this. So if I can do it, I am so confident anyone can make this. So what we're going to do is put this on the stove and boil it for, well, until they're about 5 minutes. Okay, it just took about 5 minutes to cook them lightly with the purpose of letting some of this stuff come to the surface and get rid of that. And so that you can get the nails off. So that's perfect. You're going to dump this. I know. All right, if it's cold enough to handle, you're ready to you're ready to do the manicure here, or the pedicure, I guess. You can put more cold water on. Okay, so we blanched the feet, and if you're gonna just do, which I would suggest the first time, just do a whole chicken and some feet. We've got some feet over there. And Caitlin is going to put the feet in with the chicken now that they're blanched. Okay. I have covered this set, and then so I've got 2 stocks going at one time today. Might as well, why not? So I've got the rest of the feet in here with an inch above, and then I'm going to put some vinegar. And at this point you could just start cooking. And you wouldn't need to add anything if you just were in a hurry and I just want to do a simple stock, it's fine. If you want to, you can put in some onions. That would go in there. You can put in some onions, carrots, and celery, and some peppercorns. About 10 maybe. I just do it by sight. So Caitlin, you go ahead and put that in that. Coarsely cut, yep, in quarters. And so now what we're going to do is the easy part. So you're going to let this cook for, it could be anywhere from 6 hours to 24 hours. I've read some people will let it go 48 hours. There is a specific way to get it to come down in size, and then you have a better chance of the gelatin, but I'll explain that later. So we put them on high. I put these on high. Here's what's important is for about 5 minutes to a half an hour, you're going to want to, there's going to be scum that keeps rising to the top, and you want to keep skimming that off. And since I've got 2 batches going, I'm going to come back to my other, and I'm going to get this off. So, and eventually, what's really cool is the scum stops forming, and you're ready to just put the lid on it for as long as you'd like. 6 hours is probably minimum, and overnight works if you can put it on a low setting, a low simmer. Okay, at this point you've got a couple of options. You can just leave the cover on, walk away, and then you'll be straining it later and you can be done. Or if you want to make it condense and you want to store it in smaller units and have a better chance of the gelatin, you can let the steam come off. So what I do is I cook it like this for a couple of hours again, because I'm going to be home all day, so it's not a big deal. A couple of hours like this, and then I do this. And I cook it that way for a couple of hours. And you could even do it right away if you wanted. You could cook it that way right away. The last 10 minutes, you want to put in some parsley. And I usually just keep this on hand. I buy it fresh and organic, and then I dry it in the dehydrator. You don't have to do that. But that way I always have it on hand, and it's, fresh, because it'll freshen right up. And you just put some in here for the last 10 minutes. And it's just more minerals, it's more chemistry happening within the stock to make it more nutritious. And it even tastes good. And at this point, we're assuming, for the sake of the video, we're going to assume that this has been on for at least 6 hours. And at that point, you're going to want to strain the soup, or strain this into a strainer, and then you've got your broth.
And now for the taste. You would have never known that we
started with creepy chicken feet.
Yeah, we did. We clipped chicken feet's nails. If we can do it, you definitely can do it.